Hello. Hello. I hope my screen is visible to everyone. Good morning and a very warm welcome to all the investors who are part of this session on how to be a vigilant investor. Um, So today we are going to understand how can you be a vigilant investor in a world where financial markets move at lightning speed and information is abundant yet often misleading. The difference between success and regret often lies in one powerful trait, vigilance. Today, as we navigate the ever evolving landscape of investments, be it stocks, mutual funds, real estate, or digital assets, being a vigilant investor is no longer optional. It's very essential. Vigilance is not about paranoia or fear, it's about awareness, discipline, and making informed decisions that align with your long term goals. So, let's explore what it truly means to be a vigilant investor and how you can protect and grow your wealth in a smart, sustainable way. So, vigilance is an essential trait that allows one to be aware of the surroundings and be alert to potential threats. Now, when I speak about potential threats and to be alert about your surroundings, I don't mean that an investor or any person should start doubting everything which is happening in their surroundings or everything which comes across their way. All you need to do is question. Questioning is different from doubting. Doubting is when you assume that something is definitely wrong and you want to identify what is wrong. Questioning is to seek information, to gain knowledge, and to expand your knowledge base, which will make you, which will help you take informed decision, correct decisions. So, investment is all about being informed. Objective of this session will be how you can prevent a fraud. Prevention of frauds is very essential. We might be very confident that I'm very smart, nothing can ever come across my way that I can be defrauded or anything, but we never know. Sometimes there are things which appear to be very rosy, very beautiful, but we end up indulging in any sort of fraudulent practices, or we get attacked by someone like that. To explain you in detail, I would first like to inform you about the unethical or fraudulent practices which are happening in the market right now, or which have been happening on a very large scale. Some of those activities are like imposters posing themselves to be an AMC official or a bank official or any other investment related entity like a broker or anything. So a person might pose themselves, a fraudster might pose themselves to be a official of an entity that he's not. So we'll also be talking about all the methods by which you can prevent any of these things to happen with you. Also, later in the session, if time permits, we will be going through SEBI website where they have designed a very beautiful interface where you can identify or spot a scam. It's very interesting. Just stay with me till the end. So here I'm going to talk about unethical fraudulent practices. One is imposters posing as AMC officials. Then, of course, there is mis-selling, false promises, or undisclosed charges. If you are applying for any sort of scheme or in a fund, and you are told that this there are no charges attached to it, or there are no uh, or it gives you a guaranteed return of, let's say, 15%, 20%. So all those things which form part of mis-selling, people try to do that whenever you are investing your money and somebody assures you a guaranteed return. Please don't indulge into it. uh, do the double check and do all the checks possible at your end. Also, it should be written somewhere. Like in case of fixed deposits, banks give you on writing on their website, on their documents, that it is going to be 6.4%, 6.9%, 7.1%, 7.6%, as it is going in some banks right now. So that is different. But other than that, in mutual fund schemes, there are no guaranteed returns. If anybody is giving you a guaranteed returns, it is something to be vigilant about. Then incorrect updation of bank details. You will not even be aware that somebody else is updating your bank details in your folios, your investments, and then the next step will be that these people will redeem your funds. Then there are fraudulent changes of static details. Static details includes your email IDs, your bank account numbers, mobile numbers. So email ID and mobile number are your details on which any update, any transaction will be notified to you on these particular email addresses or mobile numbers. So any changes in these are very risky because you will not even be aware that any transaction is happening subsequent to these kind of changes. Then there are fraudulent addition of nominee or joint holders. This is something which I have observed, that in some of the folios, so for some of the investors, the second and third holder do not share the same surname with them. Now, in those cases, we try to reach out to the investors or the distributors, the financial advisor of that person, that boss, please go and check and verify that are these people related or not. So, I mean, these are some of the steps which we also take and you should also take. More or less, these things are very, very self-explanatory. For example, there is fraudulent redemption which happens. There are withdrawals which are done from your account without your authorization or your information. There are signature forgery cases which are very common. Then there is fraudulent transmission of units in case of death of holder. Now, for that matter, I would say sometimes what happens is an investor has died, and 1 year after his death there is a change in nominee, there is a update in his bank account details, and then a redemption comes in. Now, many fraudsters are also not aware that as a mutual fund company, we try to identify, like, for example, there's an investor, his relative is there, that relative has informed XYZ mutual fund company that this investor has died and request you to update it in your records. But that mutual fund company informs it to all the other mutual fund companies to update the records. So sometimes fraudster come in for a change in bank account request, but we are already aware, and then we try to stop these kind of updations. But in all the cases it doesn't happen. So even an investor should be vigilant that, if anybody in your family has died or expired, you must update all the investment information of that individual. Then there is online investment through third party applications. Now, I'm not saying that any third party application for investing in some mutual fund or some bank or any other financial market product is wrong. I'm just saying to be vigilant. There might be a scenario that a third party application shows that you have invested 1 lakh rupees in a particular mutual fund. But I would request you to again go and check with that particular mutual fund company's website or mobile application that have you does it reflect your investments there or not, because many a times the third party application reflects, but the advisor or the agent or a person portraying themselves as the, as we discussed in the first point, imposters. The imposter has created a fake third party application and telling you that there are 1 lakh rupees of yours invested in a particular mutual fund, but in reality there is no such investment. So just go and recheck it with your uh, respective mutual funds website or mobile application. Then fraudulent digital transaction. This covers UPI transactions, credit card transactions, all those transactions which happen online. So all those frauds are there. Now, once we've discussed what type of frauds are there, we will discuss what are the do's which you should be taking care of as a vigilant investor and help yourself to prevent any sort of fraudulent activities happening with you, which is very, very crucial. Now, this goes in line with all the problems which we have discussed in the previous page. Now, here it is like check ID card of EMC officials and call the EMC to confirm it. Now, in case of a mutual fund employee reaching out to you, you can call that mutual fund company and confirm that person's employment with that particular mutual fund. Other than that, if an advisor has reached out to you, then many a times the advisors or the distributors or the agents are also very big organizations and have coverage all over India. So if they are a big organization, I would request you to reach out to that particular entities. Uh, More, I mean, landline, email ID, and reach out to them and confirm that this particular person works with you or not. If you can get it over in email, it's well and good, because many a times we have seen that people use fake visiting cards, fake ID cards, and portray themselves to be an employee of a mutual fund company. Also, whenever you give a check for investment, you must make sure that these are cross checks. If they are not cross checks, then there is a very high possibility that somebody might just write their name on it and withdraw that amount in cash, and then it is very difficult for the banks to catch it also. So you have to be aware of all these kind of activities. Then there is something like, you must have always read this on any advertisement which you see on TV or radio on while driving or anything, that there's a standard line which says read all scheme related documents carefully before investing, read all terms and conditions of the documents carefully before investing. So these lines are not just namesake. We literally mean it. See, I don't want you to go through each and every page of the 100-page document, but some of the basic informations are very necessary. As some of your somebody like an agent or an advisor might come to you and say that, boss, this particular mutual fund gives you a fixed return of 10%, or this particular mutual fund has been giving 15 to 20% return in last 3 years, 5 years. If you read that particular document carefully, you might understand what was actually the result or the return percentage. There's one more thing. There's a speedometer in your car where a speed is monitored. Similarly, there is a riskometer which is prescribed by SEBI and adopted by all the mutual funds in India. So we provide a riskometer which is a 180-degree semicircle which provides informs you about the risk in that particular fund. It can be very low, it can be average, it can be high, very high. So the risk is also mentioned in that particular interesting format. It's very appealing, so that the investor at least reads it and understand that it is a very high risk investment. So please don't go on whatever a person says. Even if somebody says you anything and tells you that, boss, I can assure you. Then please ask him to give it to you on an email. You take an email from that person. Please be assured that there is no shame in accepting that. You can also inform that, boss, I do not trust you, or even if I trust you, I want these things to be written on email, because this has been prescribed by SEBI also, to take everything on document. If it can be on the letterhead of the mutual fund company, the AMC, it is well and good. It is very, very, very good practice. Then another point is, like, fill all your forms yourself. Even if you're not filling all your form yourself, I would request you to at least read what is being submitted, and there is uh, no space left blank. Like, let's say there's a space for writing your bank account details. Please don't leave it blank. At least strike it through. If you do not want to give your bank account details at that moment or in any document, like you're requesting for a change in second holder of a folio, then if at all there is a bank account detail to be updated, or there's a space for bank account detail to be updated, strike it through. Please don't leave it blank. There is an opportunity. I'm not saying the person you're submitting might defraud you, but if that document gets misplaced and somebody else gets hold of that particular document and updates his bank account number, then you will be at loss. So to be sure, cross all the strike off all the empty portions, update the forms yourself, sign it yourself. I'll also come on sign for a detailed, analysis. Apart from that, please fill important details like mobile numbers, email ID after checking twice. Then only submit. Because if you give any mobile number which is incorrect, the notifications on a monthly basis, on a regular basis, will go on that particular mobile number or email ID, and then it might cause a trouble to you, because you might not be informed if somebody has fraudulently redeemed your funds, or there's a change of fund, like you have invested in, let's say, Mira Assets scheme A, and somebody else has fraudulently, some third party has transferred your invested amount from fund A to fund B without your consent. You will not, without your consent, without informing you, you will not even be aware of it. And now understand that no scheme can offer guaranteed returns. This is something which I've been saying again and again. Now understand the product, risk type, asset allocation. I've also informed you that you can check the riskometer, which is very appealing, and you'll understand that there are risks attached to all the funds you invest in. Also, the past returns, 1 year returns, 5 year returns, are also mentioned in scheme related documents. Whichever scheme you're about to invest, I'm not saying study yourself. You might rely on any financial advisor for a good advice, for a relevant advice, depending on your capability, your income, your savings. But whatever fund you are being advised to invest in, please go on Google, search for that scheme, and get the scheme documents from that particular mutual fund's website. And then you can just go through some of the basic informations, like who's the fund manager, how has he performed in the past, where does this particular fund invest, is it a farm, does it invest in pharma companies, mineral companies, small cap, large cap, it's a mix of multiple caps. So all those things are very necessary to understand. And also, check your account statements regularly. If you are receiving your account statements directly from your advisor or an agent, then I would request you to also go once in a while and check it on the website or the mobile application of that particular mutual fund. You will be receiving a folio number of all your investment. Using that folio number, you can go and check your statements on that particular mutual fund's website. Even if you don't want to do that, just write a small email on the to that mutual fund's customer care and just tell them to please provide me my account statement. Or you can directly, the best way is to go and directly check it on the website and the mobile application. That's always the best. Also, always use EMC specific forms. Like, if you want to invest in Mira Asset Mutual Fund, please use a form which has a letterhead of Mira Asset, which which is submitted directly to Mira Asset. If you fill in your details on a separate form which is submitted to you by an advisor, then there is a possibility that you might intend to invest in mirror asset, but a particular fund, but the advisor might submit your details or use your details to invest in other funds as well, which you might not be aware of. Some more do's which are very very essential. Also, some of these do's are just to be at ease. You'll understand with this first point of mine now. Ensure your name is mentioned in the same format across PAN, KYC, bank details, demat account, mutual fund folio, and ensure that static details are your own static and not of an intermediary. Now, what I'm trying to say here is, if any of you, any of the listeners right now is an employee of any corporate in India, then you will definitely be facing an issue with respect to EPFO, the Provident Fund Organization in India. Now, I'm not saying there is an issue, but there are various problems which you face with respect to your name, middle name. Now, in India, there's a very high, chance that we use our father's name as middle name. But on some of the PAN or other KYC documents like Aadhaar, our father's name is not mentioned. It's mentioned separately. Like your name will be there. Like my name is Mayank Gaggar, so my name will be there as Mayank Gaggar, and my father's name will be below that as Subhash Gaggar. So, but on EPFO website, there might be a possibility that you have applied with the full name. Like in my case, it can be Mayank Subhash Gaggar. Now, EPFO website or the EPFO will reject all my claims stating that there is a name mismatch or father's name mismatch, because Subhash is not placed properly. The name is not placed properly in that particular form. Because of this, it there in case of an emergency, if I'm facing one, I'll be facing a lot of delays, like months of delays to redeem my money. Similarly, in case of a mutual fund investment as well, if your name is not as per the PAN or any other KYC document you are submitting, there will be issues. Let's say your also mobile number and email ID is very essential, because the OTP in case of your redemption or many other transactions goes on your mobile number as well as email ID. And if it is incorrect, there will be a problem for you to redeem your funds in a timely manner in case of any emergency or the intended purpose for which you have actually invested for a long time of, like, let's say 10 years. And after 10 years, you have to unnecessarily wait for next 2 to 3 months just to update your details and then get redeem your funds. Now, update your latest mobile numbers and email IDs. This is again for the same reason as I mentioned in the first point. In case there is an update in your email ID or mobile number, nowadays I've observed that everyone gets a pop-up like your Gmail storage is full, 97% full, 99% full. So what people do is they create another Gmail ID. Now, if you create another Gmail ID, please update it with the banks or the mutual fund companies, because they will try to reach out to you on that particular ID. So it is very very essential for you. Now, please check your SMSs and emails as and when received, because if there's an update that your funds have not been invested for this particular month, or if there's a redemption request is received, they give you a timeline of, let's say, 3 days, that you reach out to us in 3 days in case of any issue, error, mismatch, anything like that. So it is very very necessary for you to keep a check on your SMSs, emails on a regular basis. Now, adopt digital modes to invest. Now, this is something which I prefer personally as well, and I recommend it. Many people also think that these days all these frauds happen because there is digitization. There is it is very easy to scam people over UPI or anything like that. But please try to understand, it was even more easier to scam people on your check, through your checks, through your cash, and that was not even traceable. This is at least traceable. Also, if you be vigilant enough, if you be alert enough, and if you take care of your documents, records, private information like your PIN number, then it is very difficult for a fraudster to defraud you. So please adopt digital modes, because here you have a PIN number, OTP to be received, and then also you can monitor your investments. So a way you have a track anytime you want, any time of an hour you want. You want to track your investments at 2 a.m. at night, you can do it. Other day I received an SMS, just a personal example here. Other day I received an SMS about around 96,000 getting debited from my account. Now I just uh, I had forgotten that I had actually put a standing instruction to invest in my in the name of my daughter, XYZ amount, and that debit happened. That debit happens once a year. Now I was shocked to see a huge amount of debit happening from my account. I immediately at 1 a.m. at night I opened my mutual fund statement, and I verified that, boss, okay, there's a request actually initiated. There's a request which has gone, and then if the money is there with me. So I mean, it gives you an ease and comfort to invest and track, which is very essential. And the most essential part of it is it gives you an ease and comfort to redeem your money, because it is your money. Whenever you want, you can take it. Always keep the nominee details updated. See, I understand we all are healthy, but these days the age, irrelevant of the age, there are emergencies, or there are some medical issues which happen, and which we are never prepared for. So it is always recommended to update your nominee to your nearest relative, so that it creates less problems for them. Already they will be going through the grief of losing loved ones, but at least they will not suffer to update the nominee details or redeem the investments you have done for them. Now always sign across the documents with the date. The date is very essential. Some document which you have signed today, if it gets misplaced tomorrow and it gets in hand of somebody next year, or 2 years after that, then somebody might use it. Now I'll tell you an interesting fact around this. uh, the date you mention after signing. So you must be signing on all the KYC copies, like the PAN copy, the Aadhaar card copy, and all the forms you must be signing. If you put a date below that, it is that signature, and that document is valid for use by the mutual fund company, bank, or any other entity, authority, for 6 months from the signature. So if I'm putting a date of 10th of October 2025, I can only use it till 9th of April, or 9th of March for that matter. Now, keep your family members updated about the investment type and horizon. These days, you also see that RBI and SEBI are coming up with, I mean, in some aspects, it is still under process. They are coming up with a central process where central portal where you can identify all the investments, all the funds, or all the bank accounts in which are PAN, from a PAN number, that where the investor or a customer has invested or has money in. But till it is full-fledged and foolproof, I request you to keep a note of all your investments on an Excel file and send it on an email to your family member, or at least you can put it on a paper and keep it in a locker at your home, somewhere safe where it can be found out by your family members. Now, keep your signature unique. Now, I was talking about the signature. We keep on getting signature mismatch cases. Like in my past organizations as well, I used to get across a lot of complaints where there is signature forgery which has done. I've seen that some of the signatures are so easy to do. Many times people adopt signatures which are easy, so that they don't spend more time in signing. They just want to scribble and then move to the next page. But please be assured that this is your signature, this is your identity, and this is a mark which you leave on your behalf on any document that you've seen it. So it should be unique. It should be not be easy to replicate. It should be difficult. In case it is difficult, the entity who's reviewing, or the person at the mutual fund company who's reviewing your signature, will do 3 times more strict checking. If it is very easy, even he can't do anything, because he've understood that you just write scribble it like this, it's okay, then he'll go ahead. Now, mention inheritance of mutual fund corpus in your will. If you have, or if you prepare, or if you plan to prepare a will, then please please include all your mutual fund investments, all your investments, and nominee of the will. Then just an information about IT related stuff, that whenever you are engaging into a transaction or uh, paying something, it's not just about investing in a mutual fund, but even if you're buying a movie ticket, if you're making a payment of a match ticket to watch a match somewhere, or any sort of payment you're making from your account, please make sure that the starting of that website domain is https. S stands for secured. So that website is secured to transact. It gives you an assurity. If any payment gateway or any page on which through which you're making a payment does not have the letter S, please run out. I'm not saying that the entity might be a fraudulent one, but any hacker might be easily able to access that ID password which you are updating on that particular website. Hence, I'm telling you to run away from that particular website and payment. Now, some more don'ts as we've started discussing the don'ts. Never share login details or OTP with anybody. This is something which nowadays there are television commercials which come with renowned stars on TV about mutual funds, RBI, and all of them say that please don't share your OTP with anybody. So this is very crucial. If somebody is asking you for your OTP, please understand why are you giving that, and also the SMS through which your OTP is received by you. Like let's say a bank is sending you an OTP or a mutual fund company is sending an OTP. They will also tell you the amount for which you are giving an OTP or the purpose for which you're giving an OTP. Please read it. Try reading. See, reading and questioning will help you be vigilant. So try reading more and more. Try questioning more and more. The person asking you for an OTP, question that person more. Avoid indulging in cash transactions, paying money to in an intermediary's account. So, for example, you're investing in mutual funds at Mira Asset. Please make sure that the money is check has the name of Mira Asset on it, or the fund name. Also, if you are paying it online, make sure Mira Asset's name is there on that particular account. Please don't make payment to an intermediary. Don't trust anyone that you are giving money to XYZ person and that other person will invest on your behalf. This itself is an opportunity that you're giving to another person to commit a fraud on your account. As discussed earlier as well, never give blank or bearer checks, always use cross checks. Because if you cross, so let's assume this is a check. On top side you have to put two crosses like this, like two lines, diagonal lines, small area or towards the top left corner. Now this will make sure that your money is not withdrawn from your account in cash. It will only be transferred from account to account. Once again, I may repeat that if it is transferred from one account to another account, it can be easily traceable. If it is withdrawn in cash, it is gone. It is very difficult to track. Never share PAN and bank details with unknown individuals. Not just PAN or bank details, but any other secret OTP, PIN number. Please don't share your PIN with anybody or your KYC documents with anybody. So anybody can, take a printout or a copy of it and use it subsequently on your behalf, in your name. Never leave personal confidential documents like check copy, bank statements, passbook, PAN, Aadhaar, any other your critical document, your bank statement, your mutual fund statement as well. Uh, Anything in any unauthorized place, like you're visiting an agent, an advisor, you're giving it, sign it, put your date, and give it with that particular form which needs your supporting documents like your KYC documents. But extra copies, please don't leave it anywhere. In your office, I would say please keep it in your safe drawer, cabinet, whichever is allotted to you. At your home, you may keep it at your home as well. There are house helps these days. There are people who visit your home. Somebody who's I mean, somebody might intrude into your house and take your documents. So at your home as well, please keep it safe. Never use applications and websites that seek permission to read the content of emails. Now, nowadays, when you use your iPhone or your Android phones, you might, whenever you install an application, you might receive an pop-up that can we have an access to your location. Very standard thing. Apart from that, they also ask you for accessing your SMS, email IDs. I believe it's not necessary for that app to know your SMSs and emails. So you might just deny that access and use. I mean, you can yourself access those email IDs and SMSs and put the OTP whenever required. So try giving less authority to the mobile applications and keep it for yourself, because those details which you give goes into the record or database on the server of that particular application, and then it can be used by them whenever they want. Now, never leave blank signed forms with an intermediary or an AMC. Be it an AMC, be it your advisor, be it your agent, be it your family member, be it your friend. Please don't leave anything signed, even if it is a form. Please don't leave anything blank after signing it. Don't delay the this is like minor attaining majority process when the child becomes major. So many a times I have myself invested, so you must have also invested on behalf of your children, for your children in various mutual fund schemes. You might have an FD. So whenever they attain the age of 18, what happens is banks or the mutual funds have a process where they need an updated signature. Now they can take the signature of the minor as well, and there's a process like a minor has attained majority, like at the age of 18, they are supposed to be the owner of that particular investment or the bank account, and they will get all the access to that particular account or investment. So fraudsters do a forgery of the signature details, KYC details, update the bank details associated with that particular investment, and then they try to redeem the money. So as soon as your child becomes 18-year-old, please do it yourself or your child on behalf of your child, so that somebody else does not defraud you. It's very, very critical. Now, never accept transaction statements shared by the intermediary. Instead, obtain transaction statements directly from the AMC. Now, I've been saying this again and again. You don't even need to go and send an SMS to the AMC that, give me my investment statement. You can only directly log in and check the statement. If you've updated your this email ID with the AMC, you will receive the statements on your email IDs. So you can easily track your investments. Do not reveal your signature to any unauthorized person. I understand sometimes you sign your forms and submit it to your advisor, your in the AMC. That is okay, but other than that, please don't give it to somebody who you don't trust or you don't know, that you go and submit it to this particular person. Or please, anybody who's representing the mutual fund company, AMC, or an advisor comes to your home and collects your investment form, please don't trust them blindly. Please do a verification that this person actually works with that particular company or not, and can you submit it or not. Now, don't use applications downloaded from a website or an unofficial store. Now, here what I mean is, everyone like there's an iStore in Apple iPhones. There is a Play Store in all the Android phones, where you can go and download any investment related applications as well, any mutual fund applications as well, any agents or advisors application as well, any banks application as well, anything, but only from an app store or an iStore. I strictly recommend that please don't download any application from a website, because when an app is in Play Store or an Apple store, it is, they do thorough check related to privacy, any hacking device or any hacking code is there or not. So all those things are checked in that particular by that particular entity who's giving you that particular platform to download. In case of a website, it can be, uploaded by anybody in the world, and it can be uploaded by a fraudster, even if it is of the a renown. Let's say you want to send a parcel to some place in India, and you go to, I'm assuming, I'm taking the name just for the sake of reference, Blue Dart. Now you download Blue Dart's application and you initiate a courier. Now, even Blue Dart says that sometimes there are hacking attacks done, and people might use, I mean, you might think that this is Dart's website and you've downloaded the correct application. But fraudsters create fake websites, and then they uh, put in fake applications on that particular website, which looks very real to the real, real like the actual website. And then if you do a transaction through that particular application, your details go to that fraudster, and they might take all the money from your account or get access to all your investment details, which is very risky. So please avoid downloading anything from a website or any unofficial store. Like Play Store is the official store of an Android phone. That's what I'm trying to say. Also, just for an information, SEBI has been trying very hard to, cater the investors on the vigilance part, on the, safeguarding their interests. They have created a scores website, so you can just log in into put scores.gov.in on Google and reach out to SEBI's website, or you can scan this QR code. And if you have any complaint with respect to any entity which is governed by SEBI, you can report it to them. They do take actions on it, and they are very serious about taking actions on these particular complaints. So it is a very good initiative by SEBI. I would also like to show you some the page which I was talking about in the beginning of this session. I hope this particular page is visible to everyone. So what I've done is how to spot a scam. If you can just 1 second. If you can see this SEBI's website, there is a how to spot a scam link. Now, this is very interesting. Like, let's say you meet a person and he tells you, boss, invest in this particular scheme, you will get guaranteed returns, good returns, no risk, nothing. This is like the perfect thing. This is a new big thing in the market. You will enjoy this. Now, very simple, come on this particular website, press start. Now, read everything. What does the securities market investment scheme product strategy offer? Now, let's assume it gives you guaranteed returns, assured returns, high degree of certainty of returns, high returns, quick daily returns at low or no risk, offers to teach strategies or tricks to earn quick money, often using derivatives, FNO. Now, let's say FNO and everything, SEBI has been very vocal about it that only 1% make profit, 99% of the people make loss, be it overconfidence or be it like, know it all thinking. I'm not uh, getting into that. I'm just saying that let's assume somebody who's come to you and said that they are going to give you high returns or quick daily returns at low risk. Just an example, I met a person who offers 2.5% return every month. Every month he gives you 2.5% return. Let's assume you have invested 1 crore rupees with that person. Every month this person is giving 2,50,000. This is like 30% return of a year in almost 3 years. And uh, what 3 years and 4 months you get double of your money, like the entire 100% return in interest. So 3 years and 4 months, that's it. It's an amazing scheme. So let's assume we are talking about this high risk high returns, quick daily returns at low or no risk. Now SEBI gives you a recommendation: all investments carry some degree of risk. Be wary of anyone promising high returns with low or no risk for securities market investments. Now, next, how did you come to know about the securities market investment product scheme or strategy? Expert or investment guru from social media platforms, which is very common nowadays. From social media platforms, this reminds me of one more thing. Please be vigilant. Please be extra cautious of some platforms like telegrams and WhatsApp groups, telegram channels, telegram groups. please be aware that nobody is going to take a blame for any loss caused to you. You might not even be able to catch that person. Please don't. If somebody shows you that these are my returns, these are my returns in 1 day 2 day trading, please be aware they are all lying. We have this fear of losing out on profits, on returns, or somebody else is gaining and I am left out. Please leave everything, leave all these things out of your mind, out from your mind, and just think about this. Everything is a lie. You can prove it. How? By asking questions. The first thing which I said in the start of this session, please be vigilant and start asking questions. If you ask more and more questions, if you ask them for the statement, they'll give you good doctored fake statements with the logo, name, and everything. But nobody is perfect. You take that particular statement, compare it with the original logo of that particular mutual fund company or a trading company, you will definitely find some difference in the size, in the sometimes people like under that logo some motto that like Amphi has a logo of motto of mutual fund sahi hai. So that motto might not be written, or it might be written in a wrong way. The font might be wrong. The color of that font might be wrong. They might not be able to get the real colors, the actual colors of that logo. So there would be some difference if you try to find out. But easier said, stay away from them. Just believe that it is wrong, they are lying. If they would not be lying, they would have been. See, if somebody is able to make great amount of returns, they will not come to you and ask for money. They will not give it to you. People have this mentality to keep big returns for themselves. They'll keep it for themselves. They will not come on Telegram or WhatsApp and ask you for money. So please be aware. Now here, unsolicited phone call, SMS or email, definitely no trust, no investment. Physically approached by agents of established saving avenues like post office or banks, relative or a friend who got to know from another relative or friend, free seminar, meeting with food arranged in a seminar venue. Now this reminds me of another case which I read in yesterday's newspaper. In Mumbai, there is a newspaper called Mumbai Mirror. It was a front page article which mentions that there was this person who had who used to show photographs of himself with all the big politicians. He used to arrange or throw birthday bash for his small 1 or 2 year old kid, where which used to be attended by big IAS IPS officers, all the bureaucrats. So he used to say that he has great connects, he has great amount of returns from the markets. He gets good, he doubles the money in 10 days, 15 days. And accordingly, he had actually duped a lot of businessmen by saying that, okay, now I have good connects with MADA, and they are about to. MADA is a housing development authority in Maharashtra, which provides you homes. Now he has a good connect with MADA, and you can invest XYZ money and you will get the houses in half the market rate, and after 1 year you can go and sell it and earn your money. In this way, this person had actually taken 100 crore rupees from the investors and he ran away. Actually, he did not run away, he died of cardiac arrest. And when this person reached out for the with the documents of the land and everything, the relatives said that, boss, there is nothing like this. He does not have XYZ amount of money, or he do not have any contacts XY at any place. These were all fake. So uh, this is how people try to show you good stuff, beautiful stuff, rosy picture of everything. But try to understand that it is not possible for somebody who's this well connected and this big to come and offer you services as well. So, and honestly, there are no free lunches in this world. So if somebody is giving you free food, uh, there would be some vested interest. Let's assume I'm approached physically by, no, I'm approached by a relative or a friend who got to know from another relative or a friend. So in this, SEBI recommends suggestions from friends or relatives should be complemented with your independent research, verify the legitimacy of the investment product, ensure investment suits your risk profile, and meet your investment goals. Consider these factors before investing. If you click on this, you will get a lot another page that your goals, your investment horizon, your risk appetite, your investment knowledge, your safe three pillars of investment are your safety, returns, liquidity, diversification, asset allocation. Like Like if you have attended yesterday's session, my colleague Akash must have discussed on asset allocation. Now, previously, my other colleagues like Arshala or Tanya must have discussed with you on diversification and other aspects of investments. Now, tax implication, review of investments. So there's a good write-up by SEBI here. Now, coming back to the our page, if you click on next, you'll again get one more question. Did you hear of any of the following from the salesperson or from the one who introduced the securities market investment scheme, product, or strategy? Limited time offer, life changing rags to riches story. Like, I used to be very poor. I used to travel through buses. Now I have a Mercedes or anything. Promising life altering transformation through online courses. Nowadays, you might come across there are big people who give sessions at big five-star hotels, take big amount of money from people, and give investment tips. But then SEBI has been raiding their offices as well, because they are also by these sessions they are indulging in insider trading or front running. They themselves take some position in the market, and then they recommend their students to invest as well in those particular shares. And these people make good returns, but these students, they are the sufferers. Assurance given that securities market related investment products are managed by experts from reputed brokerage firms. So we have association with Mira Asset Fund, we have association with this particular XYZ company. The business idea is presented as the next big thing in the market, which will, you know, which will revolutionize the market forever. So all those, like, select any one of them. Now, check for proper document. Now, SEBI recommends that check for proper documentation before investing. In addition, it is important to do proper research about the entity offering the investment product and their track record from credible sources. Ensure that such are registered with the SEBI and their products are regulated by SEBI. Now, this is very, very critical. Please, somebody offering you any solution as financial product or advising you on your financial aspects has to be registered with SEBI. If he's not registered with SEBI, please don't even trust them on seeing their Instagram reels or videos on YouTube or forwards on WhatsApp or anything. Everyone who's even telling you anything about securities market has to be registered with SEBI. And also a normal Google search on that person will also make you aware that whether this person any inquiry or any order has been issued by SEBI on that person or not. Now there are like series of questions which are happening. Is the entity authorized or regulated by SEBI to offer securities market investment products? Yes, no, don't know. If it is a yes, invest only in still SEBI is giving you a recommendation, even if it is registered with SEBI. Invest only in securities market product schemes offered by entities that are regulated by regulatory authority. Verify whether the entity is registered on SEBI website. Here there is a link to the SEBI website where you can go and check the recognized intermediaries, stock exchanges, processing application status, depositories, like every detail. If you can get to verify from SEBI's website, then there is nothing like this. You can be rest assured that you are in safe hands. But again, don't trust anything blindly. Then you can submit, and again, if you want, you can just refresh this particular page and how start again with how to spot a scam. I hope I have been able to help you on some aspects, at least with respect to how to be a vigilant investor. I'll be very happy and proud if I could prevent even one individual through this session from getting trapped by a scammer or a fraudster. I'll be very, very happy and proud of myself. Also, you can reach out to me through my handles on anywhere. Like, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, or anything. You can or you can directly reach out to Mira Asset. Mira Asset can guide you in all these kind of things. Reach out to the customer care of Mira Asset. If in case of any complaints which you directly wish to report it to SEBI, please use course as I said. Let's have a quick round of question and answers if there are any. Any questions from your end, or any topics on which you want me to discuss, or you want to share your story, please feel free. I'll wait for a couple of minutes for you to ask your questions. You may also give any feedback if you have any. Since we do not have any questions, I think we are good to go. I stay vigilant and keep investing. Thank you so much for this session, your time. Thank you.